In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to optimize your Shopify collection pages or your product category pages for SEO. If you don't know who I am, I'm Miko Martinez. I am a Shopify SEO expert. I've been in the SEO industry for over 6 years now. I've worked on over 200 projects and I've helped scale some of them to over 7 figures in annual revenue. So let's get to the video. Before I talk about how to specifically optimize Shopify collection pages for SEO, let's discuss the importance of collection pages in the first place. Like, why are they so important? So for most brands, I'm not saying all brands, for most brands, collection pages will drive majority of the revenue growth from SEO. And that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, especially if your Shopify store has a lot of products, it makes sense because collection pages are broader entry points compared to your product pages, right? Instead of like, here's the example, like blenders versus Vitamix 5200 blender, which will have higher search volume blenders, right? Or espresso machines versus Breville Barista Express espresso machine. That's a tongue twister. Espresso machines will have higher search volume, right? And then lastly, like another example, handheld vacuum cleaners versus Shark wand vac handheld vacuum. Obviously, the broader entry points will have higher search volume. Okay. So because they have higher search volume, they're going to drive more revenue growth. Okay. And it's not going to be the case for every single brand, but for most brands, this will be the case. There are some brands where their product pages are going to be the ones that drive most of the revenue growth. But again, like for most e-commerce brands, it's going to be the collection pages. That's why it's really important that you optimize them for SEO. Okay. And because they drive a lot of the revenue growth, you will want to create as many collections as you can, right? Like, okay, obviously, if you sell vacuum cleaners, you want to create the product category or collection page for vacuum cleaner. But you also want to create subcategories, as many subcategories as you can. Like here, robot vacuum cleaner, Dyson vacuum cleaner, best cordless vacuum cleaner, handheld vacuum cleaner, etc., etc. Because, well, the broader it is, or the broader it is, the higher the search volume, but also the more difficult it is to rank, right? And if you create all these categories and subcategories, these are all different entry points where your customers can find you. The longer tail, usually the longer tail, the keyword, the longer the keyword, like cordless vacuum cleaner with XYZ, usually is not as difficult as vacuum cleaner or even just cordless vacuum cleaner, right? Making it easier to rank for these keywords, and then you can rank for these keywords first, start getting some revenue in, and then eventually compete for the more broad terms, right? Yeah, here's a nice way to basically visualize it. Like, think of your store and think of the different types of shop by X menus that you can create, right? Like you can do by size, by type, by color, by room, by feature, et cetera, depending on your industry. And that basically helps you come up with, okay, what subcategories could users possibly be searching for? If you look at this example, you can see that, these are all target keywords that you can rank, right? These are all blackout curtains, but like different specific types of blackout curtains, right? Like black blackout curtains, gray blackout curtains, etc. Sheer curtains, linen curtains. These are all target keywords. That's what you want to think about when you create these different collections. Yeah, the sub collections, as I mentioned previously, like subcategories or sub collections are super key. Shopify itself doesn't have a sub collection functionality, but you can basically just create new collections and treat them as sub collections, right? And again, like here are examples: vacuums by type, stick vacuums, upright vacuums, handheld vacuums, vacuums by feature, cordless, pet hair, car, bagless, right? That's what you want to think about when you come up with these subcategories, right? And if you're creating all these subcategories, it makes sense to feature all these subcategories or sub collections within their parent collections, right? Like if you have a vacuum collection page, you want to, show, you have links to your vacuums by type or your vacuums by feature at the top, usually, right? It helps people break down or find exactly what they're looking for. Okay. And yeah, do not, don't fear, like if you have like, okay, I only have like 30 SKUs, can I still come up with a lot of product categories or collection pages? Yes, of course. I mean, you can literally reuse the same products across multiple collections. As long as you have unique H1s, URLs, and title tags, those will not be, Google or the search engine will not see these as duplicate content, right? So it won't create any SEO issues. Again, here's a good example. Some stick vacuums will be cordless vacuums, and some cordless vacuums will be stick vacuums. So it's completely fine. Like, it makes sense, right? And you can see that here on Home Depot. It's completely normal. Let's get to the juice of it, right? Let's get to how to optimize these collection pages for SEO. So the first things you always want to do is optimize the key SEO elements for SEO. The key SEO elements are the H1, URL, and title tag. And it's super simple, but I see so many e-commerce brands still get this wrong, right? All you need to do is to make sure that your target keyword is in your H1, URL, and title tag. Okay? A lot of e-com brands get this wrong. I see some e-com brands without an H1. Like, I go to their collection page and the H1 is missing. Like, it's just not there. The problem with this is that the search engine always looks at these key SEO elements to determine what the page is about, right? And if it's missing, or if it doesn't have your target keyword in it, or if you're using like a vague generic word in these key SEO elements, you're not going to rank, right? So you want to make sure that your target keyword is in these key SEO elements. So your title tag, you want to have your target keyword close to the start of your title tag. When it comes to your title tag, you can use up to 60 characters. So if you can, use as many secondary keywords as you can, or modifiers like buy, online, shop, because these are typically keywords that people use when they want to buy something online, right? Like, example, vegan protein powder. Some people will type like vegan protein powder online or buy vegan protein powder online. And those are usually secondary keywords for these e-commerce brands, right? H1, you want to keep it simple. Just make it your target keyword, like this: vegan protein powder. URL, the same. You want to keep your URL as short as possible. Keep it simple, just your target keyword: vegan protein powder. Super simple. Yet most e-com brands still miss this. Okay, with regards to product grids, you want to make sure that you're not using JavaScript to load your product grid. If you use JavaScript, it kind of like, yes, search engines can crawl JavaScript these days, but it can create issues, and you just don't want to, you want to keep it simple. You want to avoid creating any issues. So just use a simple, you can use the default Shopify search and discovery app to show your product grids. Just keep it simple, right? And just don't use JavaScript. And again, with product grids, you want to, show as many products as you can, because you don't want pagination. Okay. So I recommend showing at least 36 to 48 products per page. You don't want excess pagination like this. It's not good for user experience, and it's not good for the search engine. So if you can, do your best to show all your products on one page to prevent pagination as much as possible. Another thing you can do with the product grid is to show the product details right on the product grid, so that users don't have to click through to the product page. This is super useful. It keeps users on your collection page or your product category page, and it's just good. Like, if customers have questions about a specific product, like, oh, how big is this product, or what color options are there? If you can show this on your product grid, and users don't have to click through to the product page, it actually helps the SEO of that collection page, right? Faceted navigation, like, again, if you have a lot of SKUs, you can use faceted navigation to allow users to filter your product grid, right? So they don't have to, click through to every single page. You want to make it easy for them to find what they're looking for, right? And most brands stop there. They just have the H1, maybe a short description, and then the product grid. But search engines need more context to rank your pages. The search engines are looking for the best answer for a certain query. A lot of e-commerce brands think that they can get away with just the H1 and the product grid because, they look at Amazon. It's like, they're getting away with this. Why would we add more content on this page? But the thing is, like, you're not Amazon, right? The goal is to show the search engine that you are the expert or authority in your industry. And there's two ways to do that: backlinks and content. So Amazon has a lot of backlinks, and that's why they can get away with doing things like this, where it's just, a search results page. Even most of the time, it's not even a dedicated collection page, right? But you, as a smaller brand, need to provide more context to the search engine. You need to show them that We are the expert or authority in this industry because we're answering all the questions users have about this specific product category, right? And therefore, you need to add more content to these collection pages, right? And yes, adding a lot of content may be a lot of work, but that's what allows you to outrank your competitors because Amazon can't do it, you know, because they're too large. They can't do it for every single product category page. Like look at this, like waterproof cycling shorts. This isn't even like a dedicated category page for waterproof cycling shorts. It's literally just a search results page. And they can rank for this because of how many backlinks they have, right? But smaller e-commerce brands can't because, they're not going to have as many backlinks as Amazon. Okay. Target can't do it as well. Your competitors won't do it because it's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of work. Even with AI, it's still a lot of work to make sure that the content's useful. But that's exactly what will allow you to outrank your competitors. That's how you optimize your collection pages for SEO. This is how we typically like to do it. I'm going to show you right now. We have the category name on top, short description below that, the product grid again with the product details if you want, maybe faceted navigation on the side if you need it. And then a detailed category description below that, typically 500 to 1,000 words. The goal here is to just describe your product category and what makes it different from your competitors. And then below that, you have a frequently asked questions section. The goal here is to just answer questions users have about your product category, like the frequently asked questions, basically what it is. And the reason behind this is if you're answering all the questions your users or customers have about your product category, this product category, and they don't have to go to another brand, they don't have to go back to Google, find answers to their questions, that's a bonus for you. Like the search engine will think, okay, this must be the expert or authority in this industry because they're answering all the questions users or customers have about this product category. They're not going back to the search engine to ask another question or going to another brand to find their answers. They're finding all their answers on your product category page, right? That's like a huge positive ranking signal. And it helps with conversions as well. If you know a customer has a question about your product category, and that question will help them convert or make the purchase. If you answer that question, they're going to end up converting, right? And the last thing is like featured reviews at the bottom. Again, CRO and SEO in 2025 is super intertwined now, so that a high CRO actually helps your SEO, and these featured reviews improve conversion rates, right? Because again, they're featured reviews, and you don't want just reviews on your product pages. You want them on your product category pages as well, because again, these are broader entry points. They're going to drive a lot of traffic and revenue growth if you do them right. Okay. And again, if these featured reviews are keyword rich, they actually really help your SEO as well. Okay. So yeah, that's how we typically like to structure our product category pages or our collection pages. Let's briefly go over it. Like I already mentioned, like, okay, short collection description. You want to keep it short because on mobile, if it's too long, it's going to be take up too much space above the fold, and nobody wants this. Like users will typically just scroll past this and go straight to the product grid because again, like if they're looking for, I don't even know, like flight bags, they're not interested in reading all this. Like you can literally do like a heat map, and you'll find them. They scroll straight down to the product grid, right? So you want to keep this as short as possible. And then the detailed category description. That's where you can go longer. This is where you want to answer these questions like what makes this collection or product category different from other brands? What are the features and benefits? Any certifications, how-tos, specifications, etc. Again, you want to keep it between 500 and 1,000 words because this isn't a blog post. This is how MyProtein does it. And you can see that if you have a longer collection description, it gives you more opportunities to create like internal links to your subcategories, etc., making it easier for not just users but search engines to crawl and navigate your site, right? So there's so many benefits just having a longer collection description below the product grid, right? Yeah, I just mentioned this, like the internal links, right? Super good, super powerful. Again, to apply this, you can do some description splitting because normally you only have one description for your collection page. Again, like if you want to do like a short description on top and a more detailed collection description below, you need to apply this piece of code basically to split your description. And I do have a YouTube video, a dedicated YouTube video on this. You can find it on my channel if you want to learn how to implement this. Okay. You can also use a read more link if you don't want to split your description, but description splitting is just way better, in my opinion. And then FAQ accordion, you can implement them like this, keep it simple. You want it in an accordion because it's just more user friendly. It's just not like a huge block of text. At least make it collapsible, right? And then, yeah, the featured reviews at the bottom. Again, there aren't any downsides. They help with conversions. And if you select reviews with your target keywords in them, they're great for SEO. Yeah, that's it for now. This is just one module in our whole Shopify SEO course. And if you're serious about, optimizing your Shopify store for SEO, and if you really want to add at least $50,000 in monthly revenue with SEO, I recommend you go through this whole course. I'll leave a link in the description. This is 15 modules, over 15 modules, and they're all high quality modules like this too. They're all in depth, right? We have technical SEO, product page optimization, blogging, internal linking, even link building. Everything is here. So if you're interested in learning more about the whole SEO process, because that's what it really takes to get amazing results with SEO. You need a comprehensive SEO strategy. You can't just think, oh, I'm just going to optimize my collection pages for SEO and then suddenly rank. No, you need to do everything, right? You will see some quick wins by just optimizing your collection pages because optimizing your shopping pages are key. But if you want to, really get amazing results, you need to implement this whole playbook, right? And if you want us to do your SEO for you, I'll leave a link in the description as well. So you can, book a free SEO audit. If you book a free SEO audit, there's no obligation to work with us. So at the very least, you end up with a free SEO audit consultation and action plan that can help you get amazing SEO results. So yeah, that's it for now. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening. Cheers.